So I wanted to show you what happened to our tree over here. This is a beautiful, I think, a white pine tree, and we all love this tree so much. And the other day I was inside teaching the kids and I heard a gentle crash, and I thought maybe one of the kids that wasn't with me at the time did something or tripped on something, so I didn't think much of it. And then at the end of the day I came outside to work and I saw this. So this is pretty sad. Let me get a little closer to show you what happened on the inside of the tree. So you can see how this branch over here just I don't even know how to describe this. It's pulled a huge chunk out of the trunk of the tree, and you can see this tip over here, and now there's a hole in there, and I feel like the whole tree is probably not going to be safe. This used to be the tree that the kids would climb on. That's the only tree they could climb on our property. So this is pretty sad. We're going to have to take this down because I don't feel safe leaving it. If we cut this branch over here, this tree would just be leaning over to this side, so it's not going to look good. And I have a feeling that that branch right there is probably going to fall too, because I can see the crack right in it. I don't know if you guys can see it. There it is. So I'm not sure what the deal is. I don't know if this is a viral issue or if it's just, my husband was saying maybe it's the bark growing into the tree on this side. I have no idea, but I noticed that this has a dark rim all around this branch, and I see this dark rim around of a lot of the joints, and I don't know if this is normal for a white pine or if this is an issue. I have no idea. So if any of you guys know, I feel like this branch over here is also probably gonna crack. I can kind of see that. If any of you guys know what the deal with this is, please let me know, so that if we end up planting another tree like it, we do have another one like it on the property, so that we know how to deal with that and how to properly care for this tree. Because, ooh, I'm sorry, Serenity, because these trees are beautiful, but it's pretty sad. And now I don't feel safe being here or having the kids in this area, so we need to contact an arborist or tree service people. We need to contact the tree service people or arborists, whatever they call them, to cut this tree down. And then I was thinking of turning it into mulch and using it around the garden. No. At least we'll get some use out of it. This is a very sad day, so I need to do this sooner rather than later, so that we feel sort of safe when we are here, because now I'm just nervous having the kids play in this area or me working around this area. And the house is very close to this tree, so I don't want to have this tree fall on the house. I don't think it would hit the house because I think it is clearing the house. If it did fall, it's not going to hit the house, but still it's very close and in distance that I think it needs to go. So hey guys, so I'm out here today in our front flower bed, and we are going to be doing some transplanting and some maintenance on this flower bed over here. So last year I expanded this flower bed to the shape that you see over here. I finally pulled the black-eyed Susan out of here, You can see them. They're right there. I need to take them out of here. I pulled them last night right before it got dark. It was actually raining. I was outside and I transplanted the blueberry, and I took the two blueberry pots, and I put them in the vegetable garden. I still have 2 more blueberry pots that I need to move. It was nice, even though it was raining, it wasn't pouring. It was just kind of drizzling, and I kind of like working during that weather, although it gets really messy and muddy. But it was really nice and peaceful. And then of course it started pouring after that, so I had to head inside. But I was able to do quite a bit last night, right before it got dark. And right now it's also around 6 o'clock right now, and I want to do as much as I can. I have all the kids around me, so sorry if you hear noises. They kind of like me. I don't know why. I'm not sure why they like me. Anyways, so there's some weeding that needs to be done. I think I'm just going to use a hula hoe on that if I have the time. And first thing I want to do is I want to transplant the rose. So I bought an Atlas rose, I think about 3 years ago, and I put it in my flower bed that's facing the deck, our back deck, and it's not receiving a lot of sunlight in there because it's being buried by the chives, and those chives eventually I want to transplant out of there, but I haven't had the time to transplant or the place to kind of figure out where to put them, because I do like their flowers, but because I think this year I gave them a lot of fertilizer, so they kind of flopped, and maybe next year I'll give them less fertilizer so that they won't flop. I think what happened is they got fertilizer, and then they got fertilizer from the hydrangea runoff, so because it's planted right over them. So the rose is kind of buried between the hydrangea and the chives, and it hasn't been growing. When I received it, I ordered it from Home Depot, and it was like this big, and it barely had any roots on it. I expected to receive something that had a good root system, but it looked as if it just rooted. They took a cutting and they stuck it in there, and it just had developed roots, and they just gave it to me. So I was pretty disappointed. So it took it a while to kind of take off, and because it's not receiving a lot of sunlight, it's even taking it a longer time. So I really like the rose. I love the color, and I think it would look really beautiful over here with the purple from the lavender and with the pink from the Veronica. So I think I have a good spot for it, but I'm thinking of maybe adding 2 more in the future. Maybe the same variety, maybe different variety, I'm not sure. We'll see how this one does. I will be adding more lavender because like I mentioned in my other video that I did over here, some of my lavender got buried because of all the weeds that grew in here, because I wasn't able to come out here and weed this bed. So they kind of got smothered by the weeds, and they weren't receiving any sunlight, so they just got killed because they were just small cuttings that I have rooted myself, and they, the grass took over and they just died. So this fall I will be taking some more cuttings from the lavender and rooting them inside, and I'll take you along with me on that. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'll be doing that on a separate day. But so for now, let's go ahead and let me show you the rose and get it in the ground. Before I do that though, I also want to transplant some of the phlox that I have in here and put it in some of these areas over here, because I don't like the place where it's at. I think I finally settled on what I want for around this rock right there. I think that I just want to kind of complete the lavender around it, to have like a circle of lavender going around it, and in front of it I will have the iris and this and I want to continue this drift of purple creeping, of the creeping phlox. I think it's pink and purple, two different colors. So I want to continue the drift, and I'm going to be removing the creeping thyme out of there. So I probably won't be doing this year because I doubt they have creeping phlox right now If I find it, I'll stick it in there. And I don't know if I can find the same variety. I might just take a cutting out of each of them and just root it in there, because it's really easy to plant this type of phlox. They set roots in the ground very easily because they are creeping, so as soon as they touch the ground they start setting roots. Some of them look like they're dying because they were smothered by a lot of the grass and the hey Gabriel, why are you there, Mama? You please get down. Thank you. They were smothered by the grass and the black-eyed Susans and all that, and so they're not doing that great, but I'm hoping that next year they would do better. So anyways, enough talking. Let's go ahead and get that rose before it gets too dark for you guys to see. So you can see this craziness of chives over here. I do have to do a lot of maintenance on this bed. I haven't had time to do any of that. So that we'll address in a separate day, maybe on a separate video. But over here, behind the chives and between the hydrangea, there it is, right there. This poor little at last rose. It has a beautiful peachy orange color. So we're going to be digging it up so that it can live happily in the sun.
Whoa. She doesn't want me to take it off. Do you actually want me to take it off? No? She likes it. Good. Elizabeth. Stop. Wait, Elizabeth. I need
Got a little. So there are two places that I'm thinking of putting this, and let me walk up there to show you where I'm thinking of putting it. Over here. And here. Sorry for the light, it is dark, it's nighttime right now. So I think that I will plant it in the first place I showed you, which is right over there. Right there. Over the phlox. Kind of like that. I think that's better, yeah. And then maybe in the future I'll get two more and kind of put one over here and one over there, like that. So I'm not sure. I think that's what I will do, but we'll see. I might just get one more instead of two. So right now I'm going to cut the tip off right here. Actually, I'm going to cut it back pretty good so that it can kind of put energy into the roots. So I'll cut it up to here, to this node right here. And you see these are the roots. It's pretty small roots, and I think I might have accidentally cut some of this roots, but it was really hard getting in there, as you saw. So let me get my pruners. I'm just gonna give it some plant tone so that it would have a chance to grow those roots. I don't have, well, I do have phosphorus. I suppose I could give it that too, or maybe some holly tone. I think I'll give it holly tone, because it has soil acidifier in it also, so that would be good. Alright, let's get this planted. I ended up giving it tree tone because I was thinking that this would allow it to grow its stem. You guys, it's getting dark. I want to do this in the light time so that you can see what I'm doing, but maybe I'll just finish it tonight and then I'll show you tomorrow morning. I think I'll plant tonight and I'll show you the results tomorrow morning. I'll try to keep filming. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see. It's kind of difficult, but that was the only time I was able to get out here because, you know, kids and school and life and such. So I'll try. It's getting dark a lot earlier, and it's harder to film for me right now. I have to put my hair away because it just keeps getting in my way and I can't see what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm gonna dig up some of the phlox and I'm gonna take their tops off and plant them. Oh my goodness! I'll have to also water them right after I'm done. Hopefully there's still some light for me to see. Alright.
Throw it in the compost.
Yeah.
I have a chicken. Sorry. Are you okay? No. Yeah.
It's getting too dark to film. I'm just gonna finish this job and I'll show you guys what I did tomorrow morning. This is the next morning. We have a thunderstorm with a chance of turkey. I think there are like 6 male turkeys in our yard. They come here often. They like our yard. Usually we have the females with the babies. Today we have the males. So it's after 3 in the afternoon and it finally stopped raining. I better hurry because it looks like it might continue to rain again, but I just wanted to show you what I did last night. It was really dark. I was hardly able to see anything and I will need to fix some stuff right now, but anyways, let me just show you and we'll fix it after. So I managed to get these 3 phlox, one over here, one there, and one here in the ground, but I feel like I need to move this one further a little bit over there, and I think I need to move this Veronica down just a little because it looks a little bit higher than that one, and if I move it down then I'll be able to move this one to this side, this phlox to that side a little bit more without having to worry about it being too close to the Veronica. And the reason why I put them that far away from each other is because I want to plant something in between them, and that would probably be the roses, but I'm not sure what the future holds, so we'll see. I might plant the roses, I might not, I don't know. It's probably super muddy, but I think the mulch would hold up. And that's the rose. I don't know if I planted it too deep or not. Honestly, it was too dark to tell, but it looks okay for now. We'll see. It looks super small. It should have been a lot bigger, but because of the situation that it was in before I transplanted it here, it suffered a lot, so it didn't, you know, it wasn't getting enough sunlight and such, so it didn't grow much. I still have to move this, but it's all wet now, and I cut the tops of the phlox off so that they won't topple over, and they were done anyways. So this year was really bad for them. I think in general all my phlox suffered. I will have to dig the rest of the phlox that's over there, and I also have some lilies that I will be digging up. I don't know if I'll get to it now, but I'll try. I want to plant these in the butterfly garden. The butterfly garden is a disaster. It's full of weeds because, you know, just like this bed over here, I wasn't able to get to it, and as soon as I planted it and mulched it, grass started sprouting out of the mulch, which is really weird, even though I put a thick layer of mulch, and it was everywhere, and I just kind of I felt my heart sinking, and it was loaded with grass. So I feel like now I'm ready to sort of tackle it. I can start pulling them and planting, but I probably shouldn't do that today because it's going to be super muddy. Or I'll try. I don't know. I'll see. It turns out I accidentally dug up some lily bulbs with that with a phlox when I was digging it. So I'll have to plant these. I think that looks better, even though it's such a subtle change, but I feel like it just makes such a big difference. I don't know if I should plant another one over there. I don't think so, because I think that needs something shorter on that side. I'm not sure what it will be, but this whole area is going to take time to evolve. I think before I dig these up, the lilies and the phlox, I need to go to the butterfly garden and kind of assess the situation over there and see what I need to do. Before I do that, I'm going to take the hula hoe and just run it across this area so that I can dig up the weeds that are here. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. This is what happened to the butterfly garden. It is a total and absolute disaster. So, I'm going to try to rescue it. You know, I was just thinking, I don't really owe anyone an apology that this looks like this. I don't even owe myself an apology because I wasn't feeling good. So, and if I tried to fix this problem over here, then my situation would have gotten worse. So, I don't know if you guys know. If you've been watching, then you would probably know that I had an injured foot, and it still hurts, but you know, I have to be careful on how to work and how much to work and all. So that's why this looks like this. It was driving me insane, of course. I'm not happy with it, but I kind of just have to accept the situation sometimes and kind of roll with it. So right now I feel like I can tackle it. I'm going to do as much as I can and maybe just clear up the area where I need to clear up so that I can plant the phlox and the lilies. and then maybe leave the rest for another day. I have a feeling this job is going to quickly turn into a mud puddle situation. I'm going to be covered with mud. I'm going to do whatever I can, and I'm going to be leaving the cosmos there because they're still going and they look pretty. They keep going until like a hard frost takes them. So yeah, I'm gonna let them go. I wasn't even able to get to planting sunflowers up top, so if I can today, what I'm going to do is just grab a landscaping mat and staple it to the area where I want to plant sunflowers next year. Or maybe next year I might even just go with the butterfly bushes right away. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. I like to take it one step at a time, and I oftentimes bite more than I can chew. So this over here, I can't say is a perfect example because I'm not being fair to myself if I said that, because you know I wasn't able to be here and work on it, but I do have a lot of projects and I kind of work on everything all at the same time, and maybe that's a mistake, but that's how I work. And I find that if I do that, then I can move things from one place to the next, and I have to prepare the areas for it. So in a way, I'm kind of forced to do that. I don't like to get rid of plants, because if I do get rid of them, then I have to buy more, or I have to plant more. So unless if it's something that I really don't like. So if I want to make my garden look beautiful without having it cost me an arm and a leg, then I sort of have to do what I'm doing, unless I create a temporary spot for everything and just kind of shove them all into one place, which is not going to be the case, because that would just drive me insane. So it's just going to look messy for a while, and it's going to start shaping up, and I can start seeing that shaping up. I can start seeing my hard work coming into fruition slowly. You know, I can start seeing my vision coming into completion. Not completion, of course, but you know, I can sort of see where it's heading, and I feel good about that. And if you are in a similar situation, don't feel bad, because you know, just keep doing what you're doing, and it will get better as time goes by. You know, it doesn't just happen in one day. We have to work at it and keep at it, and things will sometimes get out of hand, like it did this year and for me. And you know, we just keep doing whatever we can. So it looks like the sun is going to keep coming and going. I was hoping it's going to stay as an overcast, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. So let me see what I can do over here. I'm going to cut back what needs to be cut back and take out as much weeds as I can out of here. And I'm just going to pile them on the side, and then on a day when it's dry, I'll take them and put them in the compost pile, or I might do it today, I don't know. But I don't want to drive the lawnmower right now on wet grass. Or maybe I should. Maybe I should just I don't know. Yes, I'll go bring the lawnmower and the trailer and load the stuff into it. I think that would be a smarter choice to do. I'll just go do that. So I was thinking about putting this part in this video, and I decided not to. I decided to split it into a separate video because I think it's going to get too long. So you guys will be seeing this part in a different video. I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you want to learn more about growing blueberries in pots, you can watch this video over here, and if you want to watch more gardening videos, you can click on this video that will pop right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.